What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning into the Colby Health and Wellness Podcast. Look, this is part of my effort to give you a zero cost to consumer platform so that you're finally able to understand these key aspects and important pieces of your health and finally do something about it. And today we're going to be talking about a girl that I helped with some serious, it was like, it started out as like a period problem, and then very quickly it was like, oh, there's a hormone aspect, there's a thyroid aspect, there's a blood sugar aspect, and there's so many people that deal with this. So many girls can relate to this. And I'm about to lay out what we did, and hopefully it can help you in your journey to better health and fitness. Okay, so start off with the beginning. Originally, this girl came to me. She was about 160 pounds. She's of Latin American descent, and she is beautiful, by the way. Amazing girl. And she was looking to lose some weight. She was like, "Look, like I just feel like I've just like beefed up too much." The girl's like 5'2", 5'3". Like she get a little up there, and she like, "I want to lose some weight." And I'm like, "I got you. Like, let's help you out." So we were able to lose 15 pounds, but in the process, like we had slashed the calories, man. And she was like miserable. We finally switched to a keto diet, and that definitely helped her a little more. Important piece for later in the story, yeah. And so she was having that, and then she was, as she was becoming more comfortable with me being her coach and stuff, she was opening up about, oh, she had these, like weird period issues. Like a week before her period, it was like a week, and she was just miserable, unhappy, and upset, and blah blah blah. And she's telling me all this stuff, and it's really starting to paint this picture. And I'm like, huh, this sounds like classic. Like it was literally by the textbook PMS, which is premenstrual syndrome. And so she was having some significant issues with that. And the keto part of this is really important and interesting too, because this girl was dealing with, it turned out, blood sugars, because she was also telling me that every morning she had to eat something. She'd get a terrible headache, and it just wouldn't go away. And I was like, what if you just don't eat all day? She's like, I just start throwing up and the headache just gets worse. And I'm like, that sounds like low blood sugar. That's kind of concerning. And so we painted that picture, and she was like, yeah, I have to have caffeine like almost every single day just to help me get up and get moving. And I'm like, so lethargic. And I'm like, what happens if you eat a ton of food the night before? She's like, oh, it's a little better during the day. And I'm like, oh, well, that enhanced your blood sugar. That raised your blood sugar. Of course it's going to feel better. So this was all over the course of like 4 months, right? So in the beginning, it was just the first weight loss session, and she was just trying to feel better, and she got down to 145. So this should stand for you as, even if you have goofy hormonal issues, even if you have blood sugar, thyroid, blah blah blah, which we'll get into the thyroid later, but like even if you have all this different stuff, you can still lose weight, ladies. I promise you, it can be done. It can be done, and this girl did it, which is amazing. So she got down to 145, and pretty quickly I pulled her out of keto because I don't like keeping people in keto for a very long time. It has a lot of implications with lipid panels. It has a lot of implications with various bodily processes, because you're quite literally like taking out someone's ability to like have glucose for the cell for energy. Like it's just like, and her workouts were suffering. So we pulled her out of keto, right? Jumps back up to like 148, and she's hovering there. She's pretty good, so the water and the glycogens come back in the muscle, and it's helping. And so she comes to me again a couple months later, and she's like, hey, I loved what we did the first time, but I really feel like those PMS issues are still there, and I want to lose weight again, because I'm not really happy where I am. Like, I want to lose a little more weight. Like, I don't know what to do. And she said she tried dieting, and when she tried dieting by herself, she did not do keto. And this is the interesting part, right? So she did not do keto, and she went from like 2,200 calories all the way down to like 1,200, and she lost like 2 pounds. Think about that. Massive fluctuation. Nasty amount of food, right? It's like no food, and she's still not losing weight. And I'm like, I think you got a blood sugar issues going on here, girl. And so we had to totally reprogram. We had to recomp and everything. So we started off slowly increasing the calories back up, and this girl starts getting better, and she starts feeling better in the morning. And I say, okay, we're gonna try some supplements. So we tried out vitamin D, because I wanted to get the hormones back in check before I tried to do anything else with the rest of the picture. Because like the first time it was like, okay, well, we can get you by, but like you need more done. Came back again, I'm like, all right, we gotta solve this shit. So we started out, we did vitamin D, calcium, vitamin K, I believe it was. Might have been something else, maybe vitamin C, calcium, yeah, vitamin D. And so we did this small combination, and the PMS actually got better. For her next period, her PMS improved, right? And she said, I'm still feeling like really sluggish and slow, and she was reporting some issues that she was having during intimacy, and I was like, this sounds like a thyroid issue too now. What's going on here? And it's this whole question of like, it's really tough because like without super in-depth labs, which I did none of this without labs, didn't have any labs for this, and I was like, we're just guessing here. But, I mean, based off of what you're telling me and what I understand, this is what I believe to be the problem, so let's try to solve this. So we did. And she was having, obviously, all kinds of thyroid issues. And so thyroid issues can look like what? Thyroid issues can look like infertility. Thyroid issues, fun fact, it's like a 300% increase for thyroid-related diseases and issues and dysfunctions for women who have been on birth control for a significant period of time. This girl was one of them, right? So keep that in mind, on birth control for a long time, might have a thyroid issue. It's plausible. So, we treat her for thyroid. What do? We do selenium, we do magnesium, we do... by the way, we pulled her off of the calcium, the vitamin D, and the vitamin K because she was starting to get a really upset stomach, and I was like, okay, let's just pull that out. Let's just see if this thyroid, like, if we can just figure out this thyroid first, right? And so, we did the thyroid, we did the blood sugar at the same time because I wasn't sure if it was a thyroid issue, if it was a blood sugar issue that was causing the thyroid issue, if it was a thyroid issue that was causing the blood sugar issue, and I couldn't figure out which it was. I didn't have labs to go off of it, so I'm like, I understand that you don't have health insurance, and I'm not a doctor, so we're just going to do both supplements at the same time and just see what happens. So we did. We got GNC, healthy blood sugar formula, and the guy that I was talking to, and he was one of my good friends, he's like, dude, you wouldn't believe it. Some of these people can almost totally come off of their metformin or their GLP-1 and their blood sugar stays stable if they eat good food and they stay on this. And I'm like, holy cow. Like, metformin's a huge thing that helps people. And so is Ozempic and things like that. Not just for weight loss, but it stabilizes the blood sugar. Really interesting. So, we got her on the healthy blood sugar formula. And we also got her on the, it was the women, it's GNC Women's like Daily Active or something, and it's got the iodine, it's got the selenium, it's got like everything good that you can think of for thyroid. Like, it has it in there. And I was like, okay, let's try this. Let's see how this works. And this is something really interesting, and something that this tells me that she definitely had low thyroid in the beginning. And I was like, what's going on here? She started having 2 periods a month. Think about that. She started having 2 periods a month, and you start asking yourself, how can that be? How can she have 2 periods a month? The thyroid that was clinically low in the beginning, because there's 2 types of low thyroid, right? There's obviously like subclinical and then like truly clinically low thyroid, but there's 2 different ways to basically get it up, right? Number 1 is through dietary means and enhanced supplementation and ruling that out. If you rule that out and that is like pristine and you're still got low thyroid at that point, you probably got to be like you probably need to be taking like Armour Thyroid or something like that, right? Or a thyroid medication. So we got her on all the supplements that we possibly could, and she starts having 2 periods a month. I said, huh. She's like, yeah, like I'm having 2 periods. Like, it's so weird. It's like every like 14 days, and I'm like, interesting. Double up on the blood sugar medication, and let's see what's going on. Let's see if it goes away. Here's the interesting thing, guys. The whole endocrine system is tied together. One goes up, it's the system of checks and balances. So one was here, okay, so let's say this is a thyroid, and this is the periods, right? And so her menstrual cycle was used to going every 30 days. Or she was having it, a normal menstrual period is 22 to 35 days, and she was having it roughly every 24 days, which was fine. And so she had regular menstrual, and she had a subclinical or a low thyroid. I don't know truly what it was because we never got labs. But we raised this. The system of checks and balances, this is going to have to raise too. So she doubled her periods for 2 months, and then they went back to normal. How interesting is that? The thyroid medicine caused the periods to double for 2 months, and it caused them to increase. Now, is this like a guarantee? This is what it was? No, I don't have labs, but this is what happened, and it's totally plausible. And so what happened was she dealt with the thyroid. The periods increased, and then they even back out because the body's like, just because this thyroid's ramped up now doesn't mean that this needs to always stay ramped. This can go back to every 30 days now. And so she did. And so now she's primed, and now she's ready. Her metabolism is raging. She's eating like 25, almost like 2,800 calories a day now. Like, the girl's eating food, bro. Eating what she wants, and it's great. She's not putting on any weight. She's not putting on a ton of fat. And so that blood sugar control is in check. And she's also got that thyroid in check. So thyroid and blood sugar issues are in check. The blood sugar helps the thyroid, and the thyroid helps the blood sugar. And here's the interesting thing, is that she is able to eat what she wants now. She's able to wake up in the morning. She doesn't have terrible headaches. She's able to go to work, and she doesn't have terrible PMS, which I think was probably fixed with the thyroid. I don't know for sure, but it just goes to show the whole thing is part of this massive system of checks and balances. So if you have the checks and balances set up right, you're golden, Bony Boy. I mean, you are ready to rock and roll. So, just a quick piece of a clinical application of someone's struggle and someone's issue, and how I was able to help them with something without labs, just basically supplements from the store and a little bit of basic knowledge. And it worked. She's significantly better now. She feels so much better. She's rocking and rolling, and now she's finally primed and ready to do a proper cut. And we're hoping to get her from, in the beginning it was 160, she went down to 145, now she's hovering 148, 150, and now I think she said she wants to get down to 138, 135. So she's ready to drop another, 10, 12 pounds, and she's ready to rock and roll. So hope this helps you guys. I hope this helps someone out there take a look at the system and just understand there's so many factors to keep in play. And a great way to measure this stuff is getting labs. Maybe it's a glucometer for you, maybe that's blood work for you, maybe it's whatever, but figure out what you need to be worried about and think about it in your own mind, because the reality is this would have taken $500, maybe even $2,000 to do at a doctor's office and figure all this out. Went to the store and got a couple of supplements and we solved the same problem. Is that going to happen for everyone? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do not think that you could solve everything with supplements. But in this situation, symptoms improved. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Take care.